Okay, after this again. Okay, so before I'm going to do this review, there is going to be spoilers, so you have been warned, because I have to do spoilers in this because I just have to. Okay, so I just saw this movie today in the cinemas of Amy Winehouse's legacy, and this film has Marissa Abela, who plays Amy Winehouse, Eddie Marson plays Mitch Winehouse, Jack O'Connell plays Blake Felder Civil, Leslie Manville plays Cynthia Levy, and who else in this movie as well. And it's directed by Sam Taylor Johnson, who of course is married to Aaron Taylor Johnson from Kick-Ass, and who's also Nowhere Boy. And this movie is loosely, and I mean loosely, based on the life of Amy Winehouse, played here by Marissa Abela. And the movie kind of starts off with her living with her grandmother, played by Leslie Manville from World on Fire. And she loves her grandmother to bits. And you can tell by that in the movie, she loves her grandmother to bits. And her father, played by Eddie Marson, is like a taxi driver. So one day she writes this song, I think it's called Elevate. And of course it gets her to 19 Entertainment, which is owned by Simon Fuller. And she says to me on the phone, she goes, "I'm not a spice girl, I'm not a fucking spice girl." Because she's like, "Oh, do you know about girl power? Do you know what girl power is?" And the man's like, Nick is like, "Oh yeah, I know what girl power is." She goes, "I'm not that, I'm not a spice girl." And of course, she decides to quit 19 Entertainment and go on to Island Records. And of course, along the way, she meets this guy at a pub called Blake, played by Jack O'Connell. I'll get to him in a while. And she, of course, falls in love with him. Problem is, however, he's already in love with another woman. I think her name is like, let's say her name is Sharon. Let's say her name is Sharon. I know her name, though her actual name is, I'm going to say Sharon. And of course, it then cuts to her with Blake. And at first it's like, "Oh, I don't want to be with you because you're not into drugs." And she's like, "Oh, babes, I love you, babes, I love you, babes." And then of course she ends up marrying the guy by going to Miami to get married to him. And then she rings up her father, and her father's kind of like pissed off over it because he doesn't see Blake as a good influence in his daughter. And you can pretty much tell that Mitch is obsessed, and I mean obsessed to Amy in this movie version of Amy's life. And of course, long story short, her life spirals out of control. I mean, before she met Blake, she was fond of fags. She would smoke a fag one by one by one. And then she ended up like drinking a shit ton of alcohol. And I was like, how in the name of Jesus does this woman even like cope with all the drinks she had? Like vodka and everything. So that was like way before she met Blake. When she met Blake, however, she started taking drugs. And I see her like with these like, it's like little sweets. And she was smoking something, and that was it. And we didn't even see her with cocaine or nothing. It was just that. And then she goes to various concerts and she's literally scuttered over her head. Like this going, "Oh, this song." She goes, "My husband Blake is in prison." Boo. Excuse me. Wouldn't mind if you had bad manners. Good manners, by the way. Not bad manners. I'm going to say it again. "My husband is going to come out of prison." Boo! And then she's going, like, she's there going, trying to sing on "Me and Mrs. Jones." And she's totally out of her head. And of course, if you know Amy Winehouse's story already, it then ends with her, like, as if she's going up to heaven. And then we see this sort of like a swallow. It's not a swallow or a robin, it's actually canary. And then that's it. And then it just says in black and white that Amy was found dead on July 2011, and she died of alcohol poisoning at the age of 27, and that was it. So that's the spoilers for you. What can I say about this movie? I'm not gonna lie, I actually like this movie. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna start with the good and I'm gonna start with the bad. Start with the good. Okay. So the actress plays Amy Winehouse, Marissa Abela. I thought she did a good job. I'm not gonna lie. There's some parts that she looks nothing like Amy Winehouse at all. I mean, there's other scenes where she does look like Amy Winehouse. And also her chemistry with Jack O'Connell was good. I dug it, but I think her chemistry with Leslie Manville was very, very good and very poignant. Especially one scene where her grandmother says that she's dying of lung cancer. And let me tell you, when you have someone that's died of lung cancer, it's no fucking joke, because I have lost 2 people that I was very fond of that died of lung cancer, and I kid you not, it's a nightmare. You wouldn't even want to be there when you see it happen. It's a terrible cancer to get. But I like her chemistry with Leslie Manville in this movie. And also her chemistry with Eddie Marsan, that was good too. I thought he looked a lot like Mitch Winehouse with a white wig and everything. And the concert scenes were good as well. And the cinematography was good as well. A lot of the costumes were nice as well. Now for the bad. Okay. I was expecting to hear more of Amy Winehouse's music. Like, you know the way, like, she had songs like In My Bed, Rehab, which is in this film, by the way. Love Is Losing Game, again in this film. Tears, that song, Tears Dry on Their Own, which is actually sung the end of the movie. And here's me going, she sung that song before she passed away, which is kind of bizarre. Just showed like a little bit of her in the concert singing Tears Dry on Their Own, and then it just cuts to back to black. And I was like, is that fucking it? You made me cry like a baby when she went up the stairs. I see your canary, Ava, which is the name of the canary, by the way. It was the one by her grandmother. Then it goes to the concert singing, and it just cuts to black and says black to back to black. And I was like, what the fuck am I watching? But I kind of wanted more of Amy Winehouse's songs, because she did a lot of songs, like I said. And I was expecting to hear In My Bed the entire time this film was on. Sadly, it wasn't there. But she did sing likes of Rehab, and like I said, Love Is Losing Game and Rehab, and a lot of other songs as well. But it was very limited, if you're asking me that much. And also, the guy who plays Jack O'Connell, he kind of didn't look like Blake. He was just too handsome. Like, I'll show you actually a scene actually. So this is the real Amy Winehouse, by the way. And her tattoos, by the way, is actually identical to the tattoos that Marcia wore in the film, and the hair is the same. But as you can see here, actually, when you think of it, he actually does look handsome, if you know what I mean. But you know, if you know what I'm on about, like, he looks like that's him there, right? And now look at the film. So in the film, however, he's just too. He just doesn't come across as a bad boy to me at all. And then if you look at Amy Winehouse, the film version of Amy Winehouse, her nose is a completely different shape compared to Amy Winehouse's, which is more longer. It kind of gave me Lady Gaga vibes with her nose. I remember like reading something that Amy did want to get plastic surgery to change her nose and to get breast augmentation, but sadly she never had got any of that thing. It's that stuff. But yeah, that's the film version there. And again, this is literally Amy again with the guy, Mitch. Blake, sorry. And Blake actually was on this morning show there a few days ago. And he says out straight that he still misses Amy to this day, which you can pretty much tell he always loved her. But again, he was like a drug addict, and of course she, followed suit. So yeah. But yeah, if you were a fan of Amy Winehouse, and if you're expecting to hear a lot of songs, like I'm talking 20 songs for Amy Winehouse, then you might be slightly disappointed, because this movie only has like, 5 or 6 songs from Amy Winehouse. That's it. So it's more or less a fictionalized version of Amy from Sam Taylor Johnson's point of view, even though none of this stuff might even actually happen at all. Like the scene where the last guy she actually spoke to supposedly was her father, but in actual fact it wasn't her father. It was actually her new boyfriend, Reg Travis, I think is the guy's name was, and someone else. And then someone actually found her on her bed, watching YouTube videos of herself, and she had like 3 lots of vodka drank, and that's why she died of alcohol poisoning. But yeah, overall, I give this movie 3.5 out of 5 stars. I liked the film. A lot of you mightn't like the film at all because of reasons, but I can understand that. But my advice is to watch the film for yourself and see what you think of it. And don't even pay attention to the trailers, because the trailers didn't do this movie justice at all. The trailers made this movie look like it was going to be shit. And it's far from a shit film. It's actually a decent film. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Back to Black? Are you going to see it? Until next time, take care.